Okay, 6 o'clock, so calling the meeting to order. We do have a quorum, so we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. So first off, has everyone received a copy of the minutes that was circulated? Yes. Are there any changes, amendments? No. Okay, with that, can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Seconded?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, great. So we're going to start off, we have the Killearn Road application for scenic road approval, changes to a scenic road, and wetlands and watercourse permit. As we all know, we've had public hearing on this, on both of those. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Emily,
I'm going to step out.
Emily's going to step out on the second one. Just take a note of that. And we were really just waiting, we had a draft resolution, and we were waiting to allow the town board to consider a negative declaration, which they adopted on August 14th. And so tonight we're going to consider a resolution of approval. But first I just wanted to go to Aaron and see if you had any other comments or anything.
No, you summed it up good. The seeker review is completed. All the procedures were done properly for that. The resolution that you have in front of you was drafted by Rebecca Volk, the attorney, conflict attorney that was handling this. I really didn't have much to add except for the condition at the end, which was something that Steve Marino had recommended, that he go out and inspect the erosion controls near the sensitive wetland buffer areas before they're installed and before the work begins, which he recommended in one of his review memos, so I thought that would be good to have in there. That's the only condition that we put on this approval.
So yeah, so we have a resolution that was circulated to the members, and really it just goes through procedurally how we ended up here, why they needed approval from us, and that they've determined that they want to go with this alternative 3, which we've all gone over and is in the documentation that they've provided. And then it separately resolves that we are approving the scenic road, the changes to the scenic road under that provision of our code, and that we're finding that they've come up, that the alternative they've chosen is the least intrusive or least changes to the road, and least damaging to the scenic road is the actual language used, and also that the wetlands permit application is approved. And then, as Aaron mentioned, that condition that Steve Marino is going to go out and check on the changes, the erosion controls. So, has everybody had a chance to review this?
Yes.
And are we ready to vote on it?
Yes.
Okay, can I have a motion to adopt this resolution?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great. So we're all set. Good.
Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone.
Chrissy will have that tomorrow.
Come on.
I spared you.
Thank you, and everyone.
No, thanks. Hopefully that wasn't as painful as.
It was, it's good that it's done. It's good that it's done.
When do you
Now
think
we
it'll
can
get-
move on.
When do you think it'll get done?
Oh, that's a good question now, and
Not this year.
Not this year, unfortunately, because of the time,
Yeah.
you know. But it'll be definitely on the docket for next year. So and we'll have to, you know, move money and secure funding, you know. But yeah, absolutely. Perhaps maybe, I don't know what Joe thinks, but, and I don't want to make decisions for anybody, but it would be nice to even start to consider drainage, because that's the first move anyways.
Yeah.
And that's the most important, I feel, and, you know, so.
Yeah, and if that could be done first,
Yeah.
and, or at least
Edit.
the planning
Yeah.
stages of that, yeah.
So,
Well, great job moving this all through.
yeah, well, thank you.
I know that the
Thanks.
Killearn Road folks are going to be very happy when
Yeah.
this is done.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really think so.
And it's a long time coming.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
really is, and most necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we had on, oh, yeah, can you ask Emily to come back in? Thank you.
What's our conflict?
I would have gone on. I don't,
Oh, shit.
something with the law firm she works at.
Maybe something mentioned.
Okay. So the next matter on the agenda was Pfisterer, but that was taken off the agenda. I think everybody saw that. The next matter is Fools Rush In, 62 Old Route 82, and that's Beth Harris and Jason Fergozin. If you want to come up and we can talk about that, you can just pull up a couple of chairs. And before we get into that, on this matter, our attorneys have a potential conflict, and I've spoken with Hannah about it, and we don't think that it is an actual conflict that will be a problem for the board, and so we've discussed waiving that. And so Hannah has drafted up a waiver for us, so if you could explain to.
Yes,
the board.
so basically it's pretty common boilerplate, but basically just says that our firm has represented Beth Harris in the past and actually with the transaction involved on this property, I believe, is that correct?
Yes, Rebecca Mensch helped us with the closing.
On the subject property, yes. So I drafted up basically a waiver and Beth kindly signed that so that I can continue to represent the planning board on this. But it describes more in the letter. I hope you all received it. Was that circulated?
I don't think I saw
I didn't see it, but.
I don't know if that was. I have it right here somewhere.
I didn't see, I definitely did not see that come in.
You just gave that to me. Right? Oh, it's right here.
I'll check.
But
Who'd the email come from?
I thought that would have been circulated. I don't remember if I don't think I circulated it, but
I don't recall that either.
Well, certainly not in the last
Oh.
2 weeks.
yeah, no, it was only last week we were talking about it. There's a copy of it.
No, I don't. Okay.
I mean, yeah, it's a standard, are we, and then that we have to obviously
We have to
agree to a waiver.
That's what why we're discussing it, because
Yes.
we need to vote on it
So
and
if you
and
need more
agree to
time
it.
to review it, then you could wait until the next meeting, and then I'll just have to wait to work on this particular matter until such time as the approval takes place.
Emily, what do you think? And then I'll just.
I
I'll
think
trust
it's
your
fine,
judgment.
but I think if we're gonna talk about our position vis-à-vis a legal issue, we can't do it out in the open. But I mean, I wouldn't be terribly concerned. When was the transaction? When was it?
January.
This year?
Yes.
Okay, and it's all
It's
closed?
closed.
Okay, and there's no continued representation? All right, and your firm doesn't view this as, a conflict internally that is
No.
of,
I definitely feel like I can still represent the planning board without any.
I didn't think it was a problem.
It's a different
I don't think-
attorney, right, that handled it?
Yes.
yeah,
different
yeah.
attorney.
I mean, I don't actually see.
Without
that-
any continuing representation, it doesn't.
I don't see what the adverse, I don't really see the kind of where we would be adverse.
Full disclosure, I'm an attorney and I didn't see it either.
Yeah, I-
Yeah.
So there's no appearance of a conflict here, so there's no appearance of impropriety, so.
I believe are we not representing you on some different real estate matter at present? Not on this property?
Not on this property.
But a different property?
The sale of my old house.
Oh,
Yeah.
so there is a current
But
representation.
she's not actively representing me. I've just asked her in the future, Rebecca, that is, to do this closing on that.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know the
Is that
degree-
house for sale?
It
Yes.
is.
It is for sale. Yeah. I don't know,
Is
it
it
doesn't
in town
bother me.
Washington?
I'm not
No.
bothered.
I'm
by
not
it
at all
either.
bothered by this.
The
And
garage.
and the kind of questions that are going to be answered in this are not
I'm-
of concern. to me.
I'm-
We're talking about some code issues, and that's it.
I'm not,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not giving any legal advice, but as a board member, I'm perfectly comfortable agreeing to the board signing this.
As would I be. So do we want to take a vote on that?
Sure.
Okay, so can I get a motion?
So moved.
You're gonna do
Seconded.
all of them.
Second.
I'm writing Richard. All right, Eric and Emily, you don't even need me to ask the questions. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you. So, getting back to your application. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what it is you're doing there. This is a home that you live in?
Yes.
Okay.
We live in the main house. It's our understanding that during the pandemic, there was a portion added on that's the master bedroom. I would inhabit that as the innkeeper. I have a daughter who is 12 years old, so she's also going to be living in the main house. And right now, we don't expect to use the main house at all as an inn, but it does have a barn that was historically called the Blue Barn, and it has 2 rooms, upstairs and downstairs. And those are the 2 rooms that we would like to run as an inn, as a standalone.
Do you have a
Two
site
separate
plan?
units.
Yes, 2 separate.
Did you bring a site plan with you?
We did, we attached it to
It's okay.
the
It's really
application.
just a
Do you want me
survey.
to give you another copy?
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt to have it out. It's really just a survey of the property. It's not,
Okay.
there's nothing
There's
really
also,
proposed.
there's the
new.
survey, and then there was also a drawing of the 2 units that was
That's right.
required, so.
I remember when it was the Blue Barn.
Yeah.
And that, so the
This
barn
is
is
the
when you
upper
come in and
barn.
it's that,
Yeah.
It has a
Right, like
balcony
straight
there.
ahead.
I think that was the
barn.
rain.
It
You
has
would
a
almost think it was the
studio
main
with a
house.
fireplace here.
Right, the main house is off to the right, kind of
queen
tucked
size
behind the
beds
fence.
here.
Okay.
There's a couch area, kitchen, bathroom, and a few stairs down to this area. So it's a step down.
There's no kitchen.
There
There's
is
a
kitchen right there.
Okay.
And then the downstairs is the main room, fireplace here, kitchen at the far end, bathroom, HVAC and furnace, and then the bedroom is here. There are French doors here, and I'm not sure what
That's
else.
it, behind the bedroom, there's storage.
Oh yeah, there's a closet.
And that's where the oil tank is. And
So
utility
it's separate.
And when this was previously run as the Blue Barn,
Yes.
how many units were they renting? Were they renting more rooms than
More,
that? I
believe.
thought so.
Yes,
Okay.
I believe they were renting all of
she
the
was
rooms in the house.
she was renting in the inn.
In the-
three
in the
the 3
house.
bedrooms that our children now occupy.
Okay, okay.
She forgot one other. We have
only
multiple
have-
children, but we have 2 in the house.
She
right
only
now.
did mention one.
Because the other is a senior in high school and about to leave us, and the others are college.
The others are all
They don't
adult
reside
children,
with us.
right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that clears up some of my questions there in the comments, but nothing's been added to the
That was
barn
my
since you've
question.
owned it, right?
No.
It's been, you kind of inherited that,
Correct.
that use. It
And
was
the interior is
historically-
the same?
Yes.
As it was, okay.
So, and it's had a special permit granted before.
Yes.
And I understand that because 90 days have passed, you have to reapply.
A year,
for it.
I think it was.
Correct. We were just
wasn't it?
trying to be procedurally correct.
That's really wonky in the code, that special permits are supposed to go with the land. And you would think that a sale of the land would allow that to pass through without a 90
Well, it does
days.
pass through.
Except this ceased to operate.
If you continue operation, if the person continues to operate an inn
Right.
continuously when they own it,
Right.
then that wouldn't have lapsed.
I
It
understand that.
lapses.
What about a
because of
name
that.
change? Would that qualify for not continuously owning?
No, that would have been fine.
Okay.
That-
I think the
yeah.
issue was
Prior
it
owner
ceased.
was ill, and so she ceased to run it because of her illness. She had caregivers in the top and bottom. She had
Right.
a daytime caregiver and an evening caregiver.
It was 12 months, I believe.
And that's what caused the
Okay.
cease of
The-
operation.
Yeah.
Do you think that in the future you would be using additional rooms? Let's say when, all of your children are out of the house, maybe you want to add on, to the operation?
Possibly,
Yeah.
but.
We're looking 6 years down the road.
Yeah,
Yeah.
talking about 6 years from now.
Yeah, we just want to make sure
Bed
that
and
whatever the
bed and
permit is
breakfast-
You don't have to
encapsulates.
come
Is
back,
allowed
that's-
maximum
Yeah,
of
that's
5
what I'm-
bedrooms.
That's a good point,
So it wouldn't
yep.
be more than
Yeah.
that anyway, because there's only 3 bedrooms. in the
But
main
Emily's
house.
point being that you wouldn't want to have to come back should you change your plans and maybe want to rent more of the rooms.
Right, so I think you would want to look at it like, do we have all the parking spaces for the maximum number of rooms we would use and all that, so that way,
Correct. So my understanding from the code is that there had to be so many per unit.
Yeah.
And there are clearly right now 6, and there were additional spots in the back that we aren't using right now as parking spots, and we can, but we're not.
Yeah.
There is additional, there's
Yeah,
probably.
we can easily fit 8 cars in there.
Yes.
I mean, in trucks, we don't even have cars.
So how many do you need per rental
One per
unit?
bedroom, I believe it
One.
says.
So we
So
have
far.
6
So you
right
have-
now.
And 5 bedrooms.
Correct.
Include, so that's the main house has the 3, and then you have the 2 in the barn, and that would be the maximum number?
Correct.
So then they have it.
So you would have 5 rooms,
Maximum.
theoretically max, okay.
And we have 6 spots.
That's a good idea. That's a good point to bring
I think
up
it's
if
an
you want, if the
important
board's
point.
ready,
Like-
comes to a point where you're ready to approve this, like, it might be worth covering the entire possibilities.
And I wasn't
Yeah.
exactly sure, so I indicated right now we're only intending to use the barn, but down the road, you know, the inn has the 3. And each bedroom has its own bathroom because it was used that way.
Yeah.
And it
I'm-
has a lock on each door, all of that.
Yeah, I think if you're gonna get the special permit, you wanna get it for, you
In
know,
particular, since they were already using it that way. We're not expanding a use, we're not, this was how it was used historically, so I.
Yes.
It doesn't change what we're doing at all, or the application, it just gives you the
We're just
flexibility.
being fully transparent about what we're doing.
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah.
as you should
No.
be, as you should be.
And this is all intended to be like weekend, there's no
Yeah.
like long-term
No.
moving in.
So, a matter of curiosity, why would you think that this is a better business to go about renting this as a bed and breakfast rather than just renting the house? No, to me, it seems like.
Like a long-term tenant
Yeah,
versus
like a
this.
long-term tenant.
If I'm gonna be honest, I always wanted to run an inn.
Okay, that's perfectly, that's a great answer.
Yeah,
That's
that is a great answer, yeah.
And we've heard so many people locally say they miss
Oh, they
it.
desperately need it,
Yeah,
yes.
and
Yeah.
we need it.
We need
were
it
at
so
10 Mile
badly.
Distillery, they
Yeah.
were talking about the need
Right.
for it in
Great,
town,
yeah.
been out, so
Yeah,
it seemed like there was an outcry for it.
yeah.
Have you
Is there an
not
overlay
considered
issue on this?
applying for
No.
a short-term permit
No,
instead?
we have a separate section of the code that deals with bed
I
and
didn't
breakfast.
consider that, I just
Yep.
wanted the
Okay.
solution to be, you know, dealt with. I wanted to do the work now and be done. I'm not even sure how they would.
I mean, there's a
differ.
distinction between the two processes as far as I understand.
Okay, I'm not entirely.
I think he means short-term rentals, like Airbnb.
Yeah, excuse me, short-term.
Oh, that's what
VRBO.
you're referring to.
I'm sorry, I
Yes,
wasn't
it might be
finished my
easier, I
sentence.
suppose. We wanted to keep it traditionally what it was, and
Yeah.
so this is what we.
So a
understood
short-term
the
rental, you
history.
don't have to provide meals. You just rent the room, so rent the house.
I don't think the process is easier, actually.
It's
It's not
different.
not easier.
No.
Because
Not
there's a
easy.
limited
Yeah.
number of permits.
We
and you
didn't
have
look
to
at it
renew
under
every
that
couple of
lens
years,
either.
and
Every
so
2
no,
years.
Yeah, I don't
So
think.
the applicant included
really-
the copy of the short-term rental law,
Yeah.
but we saw this as just a special use
and
permit
breakfast.
because it's allowed by that
Yeah.
use, or
This
by
is the
that.
way to go, I think. on
Yeah,
it.
so I think,
So-
I guess what's important for that is that you're not, by having a bed and breakfast, you're not thereby entitled to use it as a short-term rental property, like through VRBO or Airbnb.
No.
I think that's the only
We're not
takeaway.
planning
Yeah,
to do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of my question,
Yeah, so we saw the applicant attach that,
Even
but
as
we
far
just
as that
decided to,
goes.
let's look at it under the bed and breakfast
Okay.
code provisions, and
I don't know.
Simpler.
I don't think that matters.
and it sounds like they're not planning that, so that
But,
works.
okay, just one little confusion there.
Yeah.
Why, if somebody is operating a bed and breakfast, why can they not advertise their bed and breakfast on on VRBO or whatever? Why can't they advertise their bed and breakfast wherever they choose? That has nothing to do with whether something is a short-term rental under our specific code versus a bed and breakfast. I don't see the distinction. It's where you're advertising your.
The short-term rental law doesn't prohibit bed and breakfast from advertising on Airbnb.
No, it doesn't. Our short-term rental law doesn't talk about
No.
where you advertise your space at all.
It doesn't?
No.
No, it does
Um,
not. The advertising or the sites report through a
Yeah.
third party, monitor the use so that we're aware of what the short-term rentals are. But there's nothing that prohibits from bed and breakfast from advertising on those sites.
Yeah.
Is that to say it's a bed and breakfast?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because some towns, there's a presumption that if you're advertising on VRBO or Airbnb, that you are a short-term rental. There are some codes that are written like that.
Yeah, I don't recall ours
But I'm not
being done
sure,
that way.
yeah. I mean, if there's no prohibition on it,
Yeah.
I don't know that it matters.
Yeah, we'll adhere to whatever the requirements are.
Yeah.
Well, it's a portal. It's a portal for these facilities, to be exposed and to. They actually collect their fees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those sites collect the fees, and
They take a big chunk too, as
The
far.
hotel tax, the tax fees, the hotel tax.
And this would be, it's a special permit application, so that can be approved with conditions. One of them can be that it has to adhere to the bed and breakfast special permit provisions. It's not a short-term rental, and if it wants to be, it needs to come back. under
Yes,
that
if
definition.
they want to be a short-term rental, they would have to apply for a short-term rental permit.
Yeah.
Right.
Process.
So there's ways
Yes.
to bake that in.
I'm not an attorney,
Yeah.
so
This is not my area.
So if you
I'm
did
not
in the
sure I
future want to become a
understand
short-term rental.
what the difference
Yeah.
is
You
between
real-
being a
apply
short-term
for a
rental and
short-term
being
rental
a place
permit,
that does
and not
short-term
even through
rentals.
this board.
It's-
That's
There's
what
a
the
lot of
building,
differences. I mean, there's a lot of
Oh, okay.
differences, right? So, I mean, I think one is, I think part of the reason that you have all these restrictions on short-term rentals is because it tends to be absentee the landlords renting to people who are just coming in, and staying at somebody's house for a period of time. There are some rules now, I think, about owner occupancy, but bed and breakfast is somebody who lives in the community, who's welcoming people. It's hospitality. It's different.
Rental law has a 100-day residency requirement as well.
yes,
Yeah.
you have to be a resident of town.
Yeah.
In the structure itself.
Yeah.
Or the
Yes,
property.
yes,
Yeah.
in the structure,
Yeah.
for
So-
100 days
Yes.
a year.
It's different. I mean, the bed and breakfast, you're obviously serving breakfast.
The way our short-term rental laws, the residency thing they're talking about, the way I understand it is, somebody can own a property and they can live in it in the winter and then rent it out to various people every weekend all summer long. And they could still comply with that law. That is not the bed and breakfast law.
Yeah, that's
Bed and breakfast law is somebody living there and they have some extra rooms or they have whatever and they're running a bed and breakfast, just like it sounds.
Yeah,
And
we
it's just a
intentionally
completely
moved to
different
Millbrook.
law.
We intend to live there.
Right.
Yeah.
And we just,
And you're the hostess.
Yes.
Right, very good.
and we want to
So-
keep the integrity of the inn what it was. We understand from talking to enough people, including the real estate agent who showed us the property to begin with. She had stayed there many times.
Yeah.
And talked so fondly of, former innkeeper, that I was
That's
inspired
nice.
by it. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I can do this.
Yeah, it was nice. Some people who visited me sometimes had to stay there. So.
Yeah. It's great. So Aaron,
Yeah,
what
so
do you have
we have
to
a
say?
memo that, you have a copy of it, right? I sent it to you? Okay. Yeah, it's really, everything looks okay here. It's just we wanted to cover everything mainly because the other applicant, or the other use as a bed and breakfast prior to us seeing this, we couldn't find any record of there being special permit approval by the planning board. So we just wanted to make sure we went through all the code provisions and cover everything thoroughly. So that's what we have here. We could go one by one, but I'll try to be quick on each one. Just some stuff on the application itself. We did notice that only one of you signed as the owner's endorsement, but I think it might be, if you're co-owners, it might make sense to have you both sign.
So the scanned copy had the second copy.
Okay.
I was trying to meet the 12 o'clock deadline,
No
so
problem.
the notarization of Jason's signature came at about 2:30 in the afternoon,
Okay,
and
so
so
you
it
have
was
it.
part, yeah, I have it. If
No
you want
problem.
it, I can certainly drop off the original.
Great.
We're gonna have to come back again anyway for a
Okay.
public hearing, so there's time to resubmit everything. Anything that we ask for tonight can come back. Including this agricultural data statement, which is also a required piece of the application. It's really just identifying farms within 500 feet, if there are any, and the names of them. It's in the application form. If you have questions, you can contact our office. We can help, but it's pretty straightforward. Just to complete the application.
So in terms of finding whether there are farms within 500 feet, I would come to the town and look at town records?
Look at parcel access.
Yeah, the easiest way is to use the Dutchess parcel access.
And find your property and
Website.
see the adjacent properties. And you'll be able to.
Obviously, that's.
You're looking at 500 feet, yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
typically it's, they're in the ag district, so it's easy to find them.
Chickens.
Right, and you can find out who the owners are and their addresses, information about each parcel by clicking on the
On
parcel.
Dutch Oak
But I'm
Parcel.
not sure you
Information
have,
page
I'm not
comes
sure
up.
we have the issue here because of where you are, but just,
Okay.
we need that filled out,
So I need
just
to
to
check,
complete
and is there
it.
a specific format for that, or is it?
It's
I
it's a
can
piece
email
of the
that to her.
application that
Oh, okay.
Lisa has.
Yeah,
It's a
thank you.
page in it,
I
yeah.
don't think there is.
Okay, number 3, so we do notice that there's a floodplain here, there's a stream that runs right alongside the barn. The town code does have provision about floodplain permits that are issued by the building department, but it's specifically says new development. There's no new development happening here. And either way, it's under the purview of Jonathan, so if he's flagging this, I mean, it's up to him to identify this as something you might need, but we don't think it's necessary, and it's not something that the planning board even approves. Just wanted to point it out. And it's tied to the wetlands and watercourses discussion, which is later on. But yeah, I mean, there's a stream that runs right there. I think it's most likely a pre-existing condition, that barn being there. That's obviously like right up against the stream, so it's like there's no buffer there. But you've had other projects where that's the case, and you haven't required permits for those because they're pre-existing. So just calling that out. Number 4 and 5, actually let's start with number 4, just talks about the fact that you need a special permit plan or a site plan. In this case, there's a survey. I think that's enough. We don't think that you have to follow the strict
Yeah, that survey that you
pieces
had
of the
was probably good enough.
It's new. We had it
It's
done.
new, it's recent, and it shows all the improvements that are there.
Right,
And
that one.
And again, nothing is being added, nothing is changing
Right.
to the exterior.
Right. So we think that's fine to serve as the basis for the special, quote-unquote, special permit plan that the code calls for. And you can ask for more information as a board if you deem necessary, but we don't think there is anything. The code does call out parking may not be located closer than 20 feet to any residential property line. This is all from the bed and breakfast provisions of the code. Looking at the survey, it doesn't look like that the parking area that you have there is closer than 20 feet. But if that's can be confirmed by your surveyor maybe.
I'd
But
say it's probably pretty close.
it's close, but I looked at it based on the scale and
We can have them.
what certain segments of the survey showed, and that the distance it was really going to the north property line because that's the closest one.
Mhm.
And it looked like it was beyond 20 feet.
Okay.
But it would be good to ask your surveyor to confirm that. I would just go from like the edge of your parking area north.
This spot here where the
Okay.
water runs, because we're on the property line's on the other side of the water.
Right, I think you're good.
Bet it's
But
20 feet,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, so just double check that.
It's
Oh.
smart when you survey it, it's on the far side of the creek by 3 or 4 feet.
Oh, okay, yeah, then I would say he's not going to
Okay, you can just shoot us a note about that if he's able to look at it between now and the next meeting. Number 6 is just again about the site plan requirements. We don't think that you need to produce anything more. Number 7 has to do with amenities. It says, quote, "The structure which is to be covered by the special permit shall be specified in the application together with a statement of the amenities to be available." You have information about the bedroom count and bathrooms and everything, the floor plan, but is there anything else that would be good just to let the board know about that is allowed on the property, like picnicking or use of the lawn area?
There's a table right now outside the barn.
In front of it,
In front of
between
it.
that and the parking
Okay.
area.
Between that and the parking area that has like a stone patio, and there's a
Lounge seats.
lounge seats, like very nice outdoor furniture that people could sit at around the fire
So
table, I
do
guess
you
is
have a
what you would
patio?
call that.
It's a
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
patio.
can you
patio.
allow the rest of the property to be used, or is it really just limiting to the outside of the barn as the space where they can use it?
It's really primarily going to be the barn
Okay.
and the outdoor space around the barn.
Right.
And upstairs there's a deck.
Yeah, there's a balcony on the barn outside the top rim
Okay.
that has a sitting table to eat. If you wanted to eat outside, have cocktail.
So this is my chance to tell them I'm gonna build a bocce course. I'm not really.
So there's your amenity statement. We just want to cover all the bases
Okay,
here.
so you'd like us to
Um,
explain that?
I think you just did.
Okay.
Yeah. And then for B, on that same comment, you've already clarified that the house is not, at this time, going to be used, but as part of the inn. But
But should
perhaps we work towards having that be part of this.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
so it's
just based on
in
what
case.
you
I
had
really
said,
think it makes a
think
lot
makes
more sense to do
agree.
that.
I think you can just kind
Given the
of,
Because
historic
if we're gonna
use too.
keep renewing it and keep it current,
You
then
would
in
have to
6 years when the
come,
kids
yeah,
go to
if you were
college-
to, the process would be, if you were to get the approval just for the barn right now, I think you would come back for an amended special permit in the future.
Which is expensive to do, so.
It's just going
Why
through this
don't you just
process.
leave the
While you're
house and-
here.
Avoid it, yeah.
I think it makes sense,
I
yeah.
Sure.
don't know how much, I don't know how much effort is required. You need to put in just, I guess, the survey of the house.
Yeah, we have to give you the scale drawing of the
If you
house
have a floor
itself.
plan of the house, sure.
Yeah.
that
We
can
can
do
do
that.
that.
I think
Okay.
you can characterize it as, future, prospective use.
Right, so the total property would only have 5 bedrooms available regardless. Okay.
What about signage? Is there any, I was just looking, it's not in the short term. It's
Is
not
there
in
a
the-
sign
That's one
there?
of the
Was there a
comments.
sign, I should?
There
There was.
wasn't a sign. As soon as I got it in my head that this was what I wanted to do, I wasn't sure what was gonna be required. But I ordered a wooden sign that says Fools Rush In, and then it got a firestorm of inquiry, so people were pulling over.
Oh.
And so we
Okay.
had to put a thing that said no
Yeah.
vacancy, because we weren't intending to use it as an inn, it was just for aesthetics.
Mhm.
So,
It was because
so
we
the-
thought we were really
The
small.
town code
Fools
has some
rush in.
restrictions
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
some
you should take a
requirements
look at
about
that.
signage, particularly the size. So
It's
just look at.
small and lovely.
Okay, so,
But they, but
And
this
it's not
board.
Mabbittsville, so it's
Oh,
different.
correct,
Now,
yeah.
we have some issues in the hamlet of Mabbittsville has different regulations that we've run across.
It's a custom wood sign, it was hand carved,
Yeah,
it
no,
was hand painted.
it's the size is the
You can tell us-
So no neon?
I think-
No
It's
neon.
about this.
Send
a
about
picture
this.
in.
Yeah, send a
Yeah.
picture and the size.
Because we
Okay.
technically have
I'm
to
only
consider
teasing.
that as part of this.
Yeah, because you don't, it's, like we've
but
actually
we've,
had
we've
somebody
had
come
that,
back, have to
we've
come
had
back
the
over
neon
the
sign
sign
issue before
Okay.
us, so.
I will, no problem. I
That's
can get
why.
I would
that
just
to you.
like,
I probably have one.
I
on my
actually
phone if
don't
you
think they
wanna
would
see it.
have to in this
Because
case,
it- yeah,
because
that's
again,
what-
it's not Mabbittsville. Even in the future, if we didn't, we should do it because we're all here together, but if we didn't, they would just go
I think I have a
to the
picture
building
of it.
inspector,
Would
I
you
think,
wanna
and
see
get
it
a
now?
permit for a sign. I don't
You
think
can
that you
submit
need.
it.
I mean, I've
Between
seen
now
the
and
sign, because I've driven by it a
You've
million
seen
times.
it?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it, and I was wondering, oh, who's in there? And then I saw the application.
Okay.
But I don't know what the requirements
Yeah,
are,
me
if
either.
there are any. There's none in the bed and breakfast part of the code
There's
that I
not.
can see. I don't know if there's a separate signage
There
code.
there is a signage.
There
So, yeah,
is.
I just
Somewhere in the
unfortunately-
code,
I
it
don't
just
know
talks
where
about
it
the
is, though.
signage, but I don't remember.
tell you.
Well, every time I put in signage, everything freezes, so.
Let me
we-
look.
um,
I just want to make sure it's not to just the
As an
HM
attorney, I
district
suppose I
either.
should have thought to look if there was signage limits, but I wasn't going big and grand, I was going small and.
It's-
humble.
No, it's just one of these things where it's like, you know,
And
they
there's-
put the measurement out and then
And
that's what it
there's
is.
so many
you know?
residential properties in this town that have their signs
Right,
out,
they
that
have
name
signs,
their
right.
Yeah,
properties,
it's
and
not-
half the people put a name on their
All right.
property.
Take a look
I
at.
just thought I was gonna make people drive by and smile. 'cause it
The
says
fools rush in.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished. I think we don't want you to have to come
It's a
back
very
as
cute
people
name.
have before. Where like people have had to come back because their signs weren't included in the
So
application.
it's not
We don't
just
want you to have to do that.
Mabbittsville, Susan. It's so 165-42 of the code. I would take a look at that.
165-42.
Yes, signs,
Okay.
and the town's code is online now.
And does it tell you size?
It does.
I mean, this is not working for me.
You still have no.
It's giving me blank
Non-illuminated,
pages.
non-advertising signs as specified below are permitted on premises in all districts. Nameplates and identification signs not to exceed 2 square feet in area. Sale or rental signs not
It's
to
smaller
exceed
than
6
that.
square feet in area. Institutional signs not to exceed 20 square feet and.
16 by 18 inches.
Okay. And then temporary development signs during construction, repairs, alterations, not to exceed 2 in number. Doesn't apply here.
I would just.
Just
have the
double check
measurements
that
of the sign
section.
with
Yeah,
What is
send in
2
your info.
square feet in area? Is just
24
1
times
by 2.
1 by 1?
1 by 2.
By 2. And so
1 by
16
2.
by
It's
18
It's a little less than
is a
1.5
little
by
less.
1.5, or
Yeah.
by 1.5.
I
It's
had
pretty
to think
close.
about
It's
that.
pretty
Math
close.
is not my thing tonight.
Do you want us to submit a picture as well?
I would
Yes,
say, yeah, I
please.
would say when you put in the,
That's not
That's
bad.
It's easy, yeah.
Thank
when you add the main house as the prospective use, I would
I
just
thought the
add
sign
in the
size was
just,
larger than that.
And it's
Like
not
3 feet by 2 feet.
No.
I don't know why.
it's a very nice sign.
She said it was nice, so I
But-
knew it wasn't.
But I
You can
didn't
increase
get
it,
out of my
increase
car and measure it, so.
Fair enough.
Okay. So we good on sign?
Just check the size, because my impression is that a sign was as allowed as large as 2 feet by 3 feet. So that's my memory of it.
I'm having a litigation about a sign and
In
I,
Mabbittsville, there's-
Yeah.
there are issues about signs.
in another town, and so I can't remember all the different signs that we fight about.
Okay,
Just approve
sorry.
that little sign.
Detached signs. This is where,
Okay, well,
sorry. This is under 165-42 2E. Detached signs shall not exceed 20 square feet in area, and lettering shall not occupy more than 70% of the face of the detached sign. I assume this is a detached sign.
Yes.
Yes.
Falls within
So-
that for sure.
20
Okay.
square.
22, so it's 5 feet by 4 feet. maximum
Wow.
size. It's not really that big.
Okay,
That
that's
would,
probably
that would
fine.
look a
Just
little
send that
crazy if
in
we
so
all
we
had
can-
signs like that.
Well, if you
off.
drive up some of these roads,
I know some of the
you'll
bigger
see,
properties
you know,
do.
large signs for the names of farms.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything
Not
else,
4x5.
Aaron?
Yeah, there's a little bit more, sorry.
I'm under 20.
Yes.
4x5 farm.
Lettering.
This is, the next one is just about Code Section 165-59B4, which says for bed and breakfast special permits, the applicant must provide documentation that all applicable permits have been filed prior to the issuance of a special permit. So things like, you have all your up-to-date approvals, like from the county and the town, and I assume, right? So if you can provide that,
The county
proof
Department
to
of
us?
Health is actually even more costly for all of the
Yeah.
different portions, so we didn't do that until we were
Pretty sure that we were
pretty
gonna
sure
be
we
able
were
to
gonna
move
be able to
forward
get
with
it.
it.
But do you
And that's
need
usually
a
a condition.
county thing,
Department of Health.
county permit? No, but not Department of Health. Is there a separate county
No.
thing for just having a B and B?
So it's not the septic that they're interested in the kitchen, right?
health inspections?
It
Health
said
inspection.
that they don't actually, didn't look to me from my quick review of it. There's
Yeah.
a septic inspection,
Right.
there's a HVAC inspection,
Right.
there's a bunch of different
Right.
categories in each one.
Water source.
Yeah, water source.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So we're gonna do that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the code says a permit from the county Department of Health is required for a bed and breakfast per the Dutchess County Sanitary Code. So if you don't have that yet, it's something that we certainly can be a condition of approval,
Mhm.
and that,
And that can be provided to us when you get it. That's-
yeah, so that's all 9 is saying. Number 10 was about the floor plans. I don't think we need to have formal architectural plans here because this is a pre-existing situation. They've shown us a sketch of the floor plan. If you're acceptable to that, you don't have to ask for
No
more.
construction, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Number 11 talks about the stream again and the wetlands buffer. You're definitely within 100 feet of the stream, so you're within the buffer. And, but because there's nothing new happening here, you've had past applications, like I said, where there's been similar conditions, provided no new construction, building expansion, or ground disturbance is occurring, it shouldn't need a permit or a referral to the CAC.
That's how I see it.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on. Talked about the short-term rental stuff. Talk about why we're here. The change, it wasn't just the sale, but the cease in operation of the prior use lapsed, so that's why they came back. We talked about signage. The owner is residing in the main entrance or main residence, so that satisfies the code there. 1 space per bedroom for the parking. They're showing they have at least 6. It's fine. Let's see. Okay, number 17 was about the size of the property. So it's undersized. 2 acres are required in the RM district, but I think these conditions existed prior to 1989, so it would be pre-existing, non-conforming. So,
1830 is what the
yeah,
sign says.
usually that's the case. A lot of stuff is old around here. So you shouldn't have any zoning board issues there. All right, 18, just 3 requirements about the definition of a bed and breakfast, no more than 5 bedrooms for guests, which it sounds like you're gonna have a max of 5 if you do the house, that's
Mhm.
fine. You will offer meals to lodgers, so you're meeting the definition there. And may not be used commercially for conference centers, weddings, concerts, a public restaurant, auctions, retreats, or other for-hire events. That's just right out of the code, so you'll be limited to not being able to do that. And public hearings required, which we can set tonight for next meeting. There's no referrals necessary here because of it's a special permit for a residential use, residential property. So it's excluded from the referral per the town's agreement with the county. It does have to be referred to the Village of Millbrook because it's within 500 feet of the village boundary. So when the public hearing is scheduled, we just have to let the village know that there's a public hearing. That's all you have to do for that. And finally, seeker environmental quality review. We think this is a type 2 action, so there's no further environmental review necessary based on 617.5C18. That's the citation that we're looking at. So our recommendations are discuss the application, which we've done, get some responses to some questions which you're going to work on, this including the signage, classify as type 2, which you can do tonight, and you can also set a public hearing for October.
Okay.
Are there any requirements in terms of the kitchen itself? Any commercial aspects of trash removal or anything?
Not that we found in the
Not in the bed and
review.
breakfast law.
No.
There is in there.
We covered every piece of the bed and
short-term rental.
breakfast section to make sure we covered everything, so that wasn't in there.
I do want to say about section 6 that you already talked about, Aaron. It looks
Mhm.
like there are usually additional requirements for special permits that require certain things for site plan as
Yeah.
well. But the board has the authority and prerogative to waive those additional requirements, so I think we may as well, if you'd like to, take a vote on that
That's a
tonight,
good idea.
too.
Sure, we can vote on that. I think we've done it before.
That just
without
allows you
voting,
to
but we can
use the
certainly-
survey as the site plan
Yes.
that you're
Okay.
relying on for this.
One second.
Should we do that before we get the additional,
The additional site plan, additional survey information, that's what you're.
yeah, I don't know
that's
if we
actually a
need
good point.
to, but that is my point.
Oh, the floor plans of the house?
Yeah.
That's the only missing piece.
It may be on file, it hasn't changed at all, so
Okay.
from the last use, the configuration is identical. But if you want us to redraw it, we can. I can come to,
I don't
But
know
what
that
we were
need to
agreeing
redraw
to
it.
do,
Fine
but
with
what
the
we're,
historical one.
yeah.
you've submitted a survey, and what we're talking about doing is accepting that survey as the site plan.
I see.
So I think we're okay to do that.
Yes,
with it
I'm good with
without-
absolutely.
Yeah, because it shows the house and the barn, so even though we're adding the house in, we're, okay.
But if you're able to find something on the floor plan of the house, it would complete your application and
Right,
that
because
it
you had a
would-
floor plan of the barn.
Right.
and it would
So-
cover like both buildings.
So
under
you
this.
don't have to have like an architect draw it up. You can just,
Okay.
trace
No problem.
something that you have.
I'll
Or
come
if it hasn't changed, then just use
what's on file.
what's on file,
Yeah.
but submit it as
Right.
part of this application.
Correct. I'll
Yeah.
come and I'll see what's on file and
Okay.
then we'll go.
Okay.
And if not, the realtor had it, when they should have it advertised.
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we just need to have it sort of in this
Something
application.
available.
Correct.
Yeah, great.
That's it.
Okay, so, so we could start with that. Can I get a motion to accept the survey as a site plan in this?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And then, we need a motion to set, no,
Type
motion to, classify as type 2.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Finally, we're going to put it on for public hearing for next month, so can I get a motion to set the public
So
hearing?
moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
When
Okay,
you decide to
great.
retire, I want your job.
Someone else's so moved and someone else's so.
It makes it easier.
We take turns.
Okay,
Can
so,
we also authorize the secretary to?
oh, I knew,
Secretary do that referral?
Yeah, it's just notifying the Village of Millbrook that there's going to be a public hearing on October, whatever date that is, the first
Absolutely.
Tuesday.
Who sends out the notifications to the neighbors? The
They do.
applicant?
They
That's
do.
the applicant.
yeah.
So,
So-
Send it out certified. with
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
what
Give you the
notice
list.
That's why I
specifically?
thought I mentioned.
Talk
The
to Lisa.
secretary can talk you through that.
to you.
Okay, perfect.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Shouldn't be that, well, I guess there'll be some, shouldn't be that many.
Shouldn't be that many, but, okay, so I think that's it, as long as Lisa is going to send the notice to the Village of Millbrook, and then you'll send the rest of the notices, and then we'll be on next month. And you'll provide the
Yeah.
additional
And-
documents.
Yeah, and I would show all of the parking spaces available so that you have enough to
Yes.
to match the additional.
Absolutely. Yep,
Yeah.
I'll take care of it.
let me just double check. The deadline for for the October meeting, just so you have it, so you can get stuff in.
Yeah,
on
that
time.
was wrong on the agenda. Could you check that? What's the date? It still had the August date, so I meant to look at it myself before the meeting, but
Oh, I didn't revise that.
September 23rd.
I
September 23rd.
I guess I didn't, looked at the old version.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So the notices to the adjacent property owners have to be served how much time in advance of the public hearing?
10 to 15 days prior to the meeting.
And our meeting is on the 7th, is that true?
Yes.
Yep,
Seventh,
October
yes.
7th.
Got it.
Okay, so we're all set then.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you next month.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Exciting.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
So the only other thing, do we have any update on our application fees issues? Have we?
No, we haven't.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't respond to it.
Good to
Apologize.
see you
We
again.
haven't finished that.
We'll have something for the next one.
Yeah, that's fine. The next month I might have trouble being here. So is there anybody who might be able to serve as chair if I can't?
Nicole usually does when you're not here, but if she can't make it, I recommend that.
So I love it. You said Nicole. She's not here. You're it.
Right.
I think Nicole should do it.
Yeah, I got yelled at last time I did it.
No, who yelled at you?
Nicole, for not letting the public speak.
Absolutely.
The fourth person.
Oh, and
that's about
I
it.
interrupted you. I said,
that was a disaster.
no, I reminded him to do
Someone
the
else.
Pledge of Allegiance before he did the Pledge of Allegiance, which was incredibly rude of me.
But it was the fourth person to comment on the Johnson estate. It's going to ruin our views. So anyway.
All right. So if I need somebody, I'm going to call Nicole.
Yeah.
I
Is that-
think so.
Do you want to? You mentioned that we might be seeing a pretty big issue at the next meeting. Is that-
We did get an application for a pre-application, one of those where they just come in and talk to us and pose some questions before they put an application. And that is was from Joe Ariel on behalf of, I've forgotten the name.
Hitchcock.
It's for Hitchcock, the Hitchcock property, but
Centaur Properties?
Centaur, Centaur Properties out of Manhattan, and wants to discuss potential development of that site, including a potential golf course, potential shooting, some residential building. So we don't, and again, this is
Nothing's been submitted.
pre anything,
But they'll come and talk to us.
but they're gonna come next month and talk to us.
Great.
I have been spending a lot of time down in the media running because that's part of the district. I actually saw Aaron. They had a planning board meeting scheduled to start at 7. Silo Ridge was a big part of the agenda.
Yes.
They went into executive session for like 40 minutes before the meeting actually started. I left like at 9:30. This poor guy was there till 11 o'clock. But they've been through a lot. I think it might be really worth our while to chat with a couple of people from there. Because I can tell you what a number of the issues are that we should go into our very first meeting being ready to talk about. So I can
Okay.
tell
So
you
is
briefly
this,
now.
Yeah, sure.
is this potential development by Centaur analogous to
Sounds
that-
like
that
it's very close to it, yeah.
Is there room for a golf course there? It's a lot
Oh,
of
yeah,
water.
they can make any room they
You'd have
want.
to clear a lot of,
Yeah.
you'd have to
There'd be a
clear.
lot of clearing and
They
doing
would
that, I
have to get water
imagine.
permits, permits because there's so much water on the property,
But I don't know, we don't know yet whether this potential development would be something like Silo Ridge where there's kind of a company managing all
Sure.
the amenities and that, or whether they would be selling real estate lots off and, but, like,
we
it's,
don't know.
we don't know yet.
Yeah.
But it is of interest, so
Yeah,
were
the
there
biggest
any?
issue they've had, and I think this is something that could be avoided at the outset, people bought homes for ungodly amounts of money, $3 million, $5 million, then they sued individually to have them reassessed at 10%
Right.
of the initial value.
Right.
So you can imagine the impact on the tax rolls and the cost of the town to litigate all of these things, and this is still ongoing.
Right.
There's also just a fundamental thing that they did in terms of having this gated community in a very mixed area that really isolated them in many ways. Now they're trying to rectify it by opening up some of their facilities to the public, building a store that's just at the very edge of the property itself. There was an issue regarding the approval of in terms of number of bedrooms as opposed to structure. So now they're trying to put in sort of condo units instead of individual homes.
Yes, I saw that they were trying to get
Yeah,
condos
so
approved.
there are a lot of, and there's plenty more, but there are a number of things that, just knowing what some of the likely things are, we can
Yeah.
just sort
Yeah,
of lay it
that-
out up
that
front.
town got bamboozled on its,
Yeah.
the tax.
Well, as I understand it, what happened was, the super simplified version of this is, there's a company that, a very high-end company that
Discovery.
builds these things, Discovery, and there are millions of amenities. They have horseback riding, they have
Yeah.
ice skating, they have all of these different things. So people buy in, they could buy X house a mile down the road and they might buy it for $3 million. But because it's on this property with all of these amenities, it is now $6 million in there. So their claim to the town was, this is not worth, you're assessing us at what I bought it for, but it's not worth that. It wouldn't be worth that if it were across the street.
Right.
It's just that it's part of this complex that has these other amenities, so you can't tax me for that. So that was, I was very interested when
That
that
is
lawsuit
interesting.
came out. It's an interesting issue. I don't know where it is in litigation
I
right
think we want
now.
to be in front of that, make it a
Yeah.
condition right up front. You know, you're
We
gonna be
need to
taxed.
understand what this,
Yeah.
yeah, if
Yeah.
they're going to do something like that, we
Yeah.
need to understand how that's gonna
Yeah.
work for taxes.
That would
and-
be like me saying, I live on this really exclusive road, but there are other roads that are not so fancy in this town, and I want to be assessed at a lower value because there are
Yeah.
less expensive roads in this town.
Yeah.
That's
They,
crazy.
they contribute huge amount of the taxes for that town, though. It's been a windfall.
Yeah, Eric
for
said
them,
that they are now 60% of the
That's what I
tax
heard at one
rolls
of
in
the meetings. I
Armenia.
don't-
I mean, how do you, I guess, I don't know how you get ahead of that. I don't know how this board gets ahead of that issue because.
It's a town board issue.
It's, I mean, yeah, it's a kind of a tax issue, which is,
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
understanding
I just think
the,
that knowing what the issues are up
For
front,
sure.
rather than trying to catch up after the fact.
and understanding how they come in, whether they come in as selling off individual lots and having people own kind of separately, or what they've done there is almost like, to me as a New York City person, that originally like a co-op form of ownership. Like
Yeah.
there's, it isn't done that way, but it's more like that because they're getting all of this as part of what they
Right.
buy into.
And do we want these people to be part of our community, or do we want them to have their own gated community in the middle of our community? You know, it's kind of a soft
Yeah.
issue, but.
And
there's
again, we
tensions
don't know
there.
that whether they're, because it sounded almost like when I read this little pre-application, it was very give short shrift. You know, it was very short what they're describing, what they're doing. But it's not clear that they wouldn't be having shooting open to the public or the golf course
Right.
open to them.
Right.
I have no
Right.
idea.
Neither
So
do
it's
we.
not a hospitality application.
No, it's not.
It is, we
So
don't
we don't
know.
know.
We don't
We
know.
don't
We
know.
don't know
I think
yet.
these are people who are
We
like
don't
trying to
know,
figure
though.
out what
It
the
could- it
scope
could
of the
be that,
project
too.
can be
Right.
We
before
don't
they
know,
go
and
out and
that
pitch
could-
to
that would
investors.
be
I think it will
tremendous.
include
would
hospitality
assume-
aspects.
It could
And-
have to go to the town board
Exactly.
before it
They
even
are,
comes
they-
here.
that
because
is,
there's
that
nothing
is
allowed
not
by
one of those
zoning.
designated hospitality
Yeah.
areas. So if it does include hospitality issues, it goes to you.
I don't think I've been to a party or an event where I haven't overheard somebody talking about some idea for Hitchcock.
Oh, I know.
You know, where it would be a private shooting club, it would be a this, it would be a that. And I think people are just floating ideas before they go out and try to get investors in, you know, what may or may not be viable.
Yeah,
But if there's anything that's not allowed by your zoning,
Like,
it goes right to the town
that's
board
right.
at first.
yeah.
That's right.
It's interesting. It's like gigantic. It's like the
It's-
biggest property in the county. It's
Right.
really big.
It's really,
Yeah,
really
it's
big.
2,500.
And our little board is gonna have to.
250 10-acre parcels.
Small but mighty.
But there's a lot of stuff
Are
you
you putting
can-
us on salary at any
There's a
point?
lot of stuff, a lot of area you
There are
can't
a
build
lot of
on.
real
Right.
offers on the
A lot
Hitchcock
of work, a
property.
lot of
Yeah.
work.
Are there? More than one, like
More
more?
than one.
Really? That's so
More than 60
interesting.
million? No. Not that, I don't know numbers, I just know that the lead one is not a hospitality group.
Good.
Is it individual?
Is
You
that
don't have to go
this,
through that
It's
again.
me.
is that this group? Okay, so-
You're our silent
What are your
billionaire
plans?
over here.
So we've been approached by
So are they
one
coming before
potential
us next month?
We
bidder
have been,
who doesn't necessarily have.
They're just
they
doing due
do not own the
diligence.
property.
No, people are just sussing out what they,
So why are they
what's,
coming to us?
because they're trying to figure out what they might be able to do before they put.
And how amenable we might be
Yeah.
to certain
They're-
things.
they're
That's
dipping their toe
fine.
But
in
if
the
there
water.
are, if there are more than 3 bidders, and this is just one of them, then they're just, before they throw their hat in, they're just coming to us to ask, is this possible?
Yeah.
Yeah, they want
they're
to see if
coming
it's
to-
feasible.
They're
Right.
allowed to
Right.
come in and ask,
Right.
we can't really say what's
Read their mind.
feasible, we don't have an application, so that's not really what our role would be, for them to come in and throw things at us and us to say, oh yeah, we would let you do that. Like, that's not how this whole, that's not how the
It's like
process
Bramble
works.
Hill. It's just like
We're-
how Bramble Hill people came in.
It's just, they're coming in, they wanna suss us out a little, and they also probably just wanna run through what they're thinking and see where, you know,
Yeah.
And also see who the.
See what Aaron
So,
might
so is
say.
this something for
Sometimes they
next
just wanna
month?
meet
that
the
they-
planning board.
Yeah.
just the
Right?
pre-application.
Yeah,
Again,
that's
not
good,
all
that's
Joe
good,
knows
that's
you all
different.
pretty well.
That's good.
What?
It's Joe that made the request. He knows you
Yeah,
all
this
pretty
is
well.
Joe.
Yeah, we do know Joe.
So, I think that's it.
So that'll be next month.
That's next month. And maybe that's all we'll have now.
I have a question about scenic roads.
Well, actually,
We have the-
there
we have the
is
public
an
hearing.
application that came in today. I didn't get the
Another
chance to
application?
email everybody, but
It's early.
it's really early.
Yeah, that's
But
where
I
we
don't know
are.
if anybody wants me to like look over it now and email you guys
Right.
about
Sure.
it.
Yeah, when you
Wouldn't
get
hurt.
to it, yeah.
That's never happened since I've been here to
Yeah.
have an application come that early before submission.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of that. So can I get a motion to
What were
close
you
the
saying?
meeting?
I have-
Oh, I'm
no,
sorry.
Actually, you can close the meeting. I just have a question for the town board member about scenic roads. And I was wondering if the town board was considering amending the scenic road laws, or at this point, or at some point,
There's been no real discussion of it.
right?
What do you think?
Why, what, yeah, what?
Well, I'm sort of curious if the, in town code, the surface is delineated, it has to be a dirt road. Is that anywhere in the town code that it has to be a dirt road?
That the scenic road has to be a town, that the scenic road has to be a dirt road?
I
I'm
think,
wondering if
all-
that's
I
the
think
case.
the ones that have been designated scenic roads
Are
were
dirt
all
roads.
dirt roads.
Right.
And so then getting it to be not a dirt road is the hurdle that you have to climb.
Yes.
Like you, if
But
anybody
there's
wanted to.
There's no part of the town code that says it cannot, that it has to be a dirt road.
I don't think
Says it
so.
has to preserve and protect the present quality and character.
So if it's currently dirt, you're trying
Yes.
to preserve the
Present
present
quality and
quality, so
character.
it's pretty
I
hard
got
to
it, I
get
got
it to
it.
pay. Yeah.
Well, and they're already designated
Yeah,
in
Right.
their current form.
Right.
that's what I mean.
Right.
So like pushing it to.
For instance, I
something-
live on nearby a dirt road, Deep Hollow Road. And everybody, most of the women who live on that road have a cough condition from the dust. I mean, people are coughing to death on that road. I mean,
Yeah.
my neighbors all have cough. My wife's been coughing for 3 years. Right? And it's from the dust on the road. And there's nothing we could do about it. So Steve Kay, who lives right on that road, asked the town highway supervisor to put like chaff or like bumps in the road to slow down the traffic, to hold down the dust, right? But it's actually made it worse because it keeps the road very loose. It doesn't let it compact. So so that's why I was sort of interested in what we could do to make that road stabilized, or any dirt
I
road
do
stabilized.
know the town, having lived on Killearn for a long time, they always used to, not always, but they would often throughout the summer go over it with water
Mhm.
and just
Well,
tamp
they
it
would
down.
use
It's not
calcium chloride
that-
Yeah.
water.
Yes.
My issue with calcium chloride and water is the fact that once that's in the ground, it's also used as an ice melter. So
Right.
once you have that in there, it makes it very hard to keep the road solid in the winter.
It makes it a muddy mess.
Oh, it exacerbates the
It-
winter issue, and I didn't know
Exactly.
that, okay.
So
Yeah.
personally,
Yeah.
if we're gonna talk about it, I would like to see this, since we brought it up and I didn't do it. I would like to see the scenic road law tweaked a little bit, so that maybe it has to stay a dirt road, but the highway super has a little more control to get stuff done as far as his view of the maintenance and upkeep that needs to be done. But not eliminate the scenic road designation or anything like that, but just give the highway super a little more control so that we don't have to maybe
Well,
spend
Deep
quite
Hollow
so
Road's
many
graded every
hundreds of
week.
thousands of dollars to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deep Hollow Road is actually graded every week on a Sunday or Saturday morning.
The amount of money that gets spent on the dirt roads is unbelievable.
Hey, if we
Why
want
would
to
you-
keep going, we could raise the assessment on dirt roads because of the scenic view.
There is no scenic view
Why
on Deep Hollow Road.
why would Deep Hollow be more problematic than other dirt roads? Is there something special about?
I can't tell you why there's so much dust, but if you follow another car down that road, your windshield, you can't see through it.
I think they were all like that, I mean, that's how
I don't know,
Killearn
'cause I'm on
is.
Shady
Killearn is always
Dill all the
terrible.
time, and I
It's
don't.
Material and
Yeah.
lack of, somebody probably didn't want the calcium chloride on the road.
No, well, none of us do, because it's, in the wintertime, I have a four-wheel drive truck, and I bottomed out on that road, right? Because it was so soft.
Yeah.
So maybe no
Again,
cars.
go back to all the
Just
problems that we talked about in
horses.
the Calern Road thing, with the base, the drainage, the crown of the road. A lot of times you have surface water from properties that are coming onto the road because of where it was built and how it was built. So it's not necessarily just rainwater that's making the road soft, it's water coming off of
Yeah, absolutely.
somebody else's property flooding
Yeah.
the road and making the road soft. So there's a lot of issues when it comes to dirt roads.
Yep.
Oy.
Well,
All right,
I see I'm not gonna resolve it.
not tonight.
Tonight.
No.
All right, so I go back to, can I get a motion to close the meeting? I'm going to
So
take
moved.
Eric
So moved.
and
Second.
you second it. Keep things
That makes it
simple.
easy.
Emily,
Thank
do it
you
next
all.
week.
That's okay. I'm all right. I'm okay. I don't need any,
No more power.